I'll find my next victim. I mean, the hostiles are back.
Ready to dispense judgment!
You haven't noticed? There's firing down here.
I despise that thievery!
Prosecuting! Viscerally!
Either restore my life or avenge my death.
Killing the boss. Be on guard. None shall stand against us! Take your patience. I'm not ready.
Either restore my life or avenge my death.
And now, fire most sloppily.
Another refugee? All right, step forward. Just a moment. Allowing anyone into Matriarch's Mercy unprocessed will upset the precarious ratio of refugees to aid. We should have an opportunity for placement in approximately 7.85 days, presuming no unforeseen alterations. Oh, no, we can't allow that. You'd best go and see our doctor at once. Just keep your distance from others. Our calculations do not afford. Welcome to Rule number 1, no crowding. Rule number 2, avoid the exclusion zone. Our seer has predicted non-specific imminent danger. Not at present, but according to our predictions, the creation of a third rule is likely, if not inevitable. Our predictions spring from the universal equation, the very numbers that guide. Only a fool ignores probability, and we don't suffer fools around these parts. I thought the name was Our seer predicted that a corner of the encampment is in terrible danger. Danger from. Stay away from it, and, in all probability, you won't have to find out. Safety and probability are incompatible. Eventually, nowhere will be safe. That's enough questions. You need anything, talk to Seer Wiley. He's in the lift building, straight through the...
I remember this place.
Do you believe Arcadia shall ever return to... Do you believe Arcadia shall ever return to how it was?
I wish. Between the invaders, the order defecting, there's no putting this sprat back into the can.
I swear, it's nigh on impossible to find decent animal remains in these parts.
Algorithm. And then we solve for the... apologies. Just catching up on a research assignment between queries. Yes? Did you need something? Distraction and I are old colleagues at this point. My part in these shared circumstances is admittedly somewhat The abbot felt a scientician operating in a conspicuous spot in the thoroughfare might be useful. An illustrative way for our guests to see to show how the Crabble patties are made, as it were. That is, if the meat preparation involved a 90-step rate formula and a conflux of polynomial equations. I am also on hand to answer queries by providing data supporting our actions. Though perhaps due to my central location, 89.74% of the time, I am simply asked for directions. I am sure they bear any inconveniences with grace and dignity. I mean, the statistical jump correlated to residents within Matriarch's Mercy has some pretty compelling numbers. According to data, life inside shows a notable uptick in key relevant quality of life factors: longevity, access to medicine, potable water. Life outside sees increased risk of starvation, inclement weather, and hostile xenofauna. Yes, indeed. Numbers are really against you out there. We have diverted internal resources to better meet demand in key areas. And I'm pleased to say that's led to a statistically significant 2.7% in. But if my data remains unconvincing, I suggest you inquire with Provisioner Plotnik inside the lift building. Simply tell her Archivist Widmark approves brief use of her time. Then back to...
My soup is nutritionally calculated to sustain all bodily functions. But it
Crowded.
could use a little
Just
salt.
too damn crowded.
How long are we meant to stay here?
That's the
Oh, try not to get too close. My sinuses are stuffed up. I could burst at any moment. Every fluid from every orifice. So keep your distance. Oh, you want me to keep sickness to myself? Is that it? Well, I refuse to. I've gotten sick at least a dozen times since why, last week alone, I caught hack lung, sprat tongue, skinny teeth, and a rare case of mortified skull emergence. Figured I might as well get used to being sick. So I'm practicing for my next disease. It's gonna be... I think it's downright awful what's happened to these fine folks. Sickness, malnutrition, spontaneous genetic disorders, it never ends. You too.
How long are we meant to stay here?
That's the order.
How long are we meant to stay? How long are we meant to stay here?
That's the order. I'm not in the prediction business.
Broke my nose. Ah, I banged him up real good for you.
The void you did. Barely connected. You're thinking of 2-3 scraps ago. You've been mostly unconscious a while now. Okay, no need to get sore or nothing. I don't think it works like that, but I ain't gotta be right. I don't get paid. You ought to talk to Boss Tilda. She's the brains in this... What does she call it?
Doesn't like to look at us when we're all banged up. Said my face turned her off Borscht loaf.
Anyhow, head down the hill along the fence. Tell her map
Where do we go now? What happened to this place? Law. What happened to this place? Law. Matriarch's Mercy is no safer than the trenches.
Look on the bright side.
We're not going anywhere.
The worst is behind
Not
us.
on the basis
You
of
have a
some
very
half-baked
nuanced
prediction.
scholarly look
This
about
so...
Except for the fact that you ain't yelling and trying to eat me. I'd have pegged you as some sort of prosperous scrapper by the rough look you got about you. You do got a certain feral look in your eye, though. Okay. I give up. Tell me. Cheers to that, friend. When war looms its ugly... May Huffstutler, formerly Auntie's Choice, Department of Invasive Marketing. Now, that's what those in the Order call me, leastways. An unofficial sobriquet, likely meant as a petulant slight. On account I object. Louder. More often than the rest. Those of us ended up here have very little except needs. I turn those into demands for reasons of clarity and import. I was once considered quite the up-and-comer in the Department of Invasive Marketing. Looked down on all the bottom-rungers and have-nots. Then I came here, and happy as I am to make your acquaintance, I'm busy staking our claim over the exclusion zone, so if you'll excuse me. The exclusion zone. The Order has decided to keep us out thanks to some nebulous prediction of disaster. Screw their predictions. We have people, displaced by war and disaster, in sore need of space. There's plenty of room to house them. People are cramped, injured, sick. The Order needs to do more than... I honestly don't give the slightest whit about the Order's idea of math or whatever calculation tells them that a catastrophe may or may not... I couldn't get anywhere with Administrant Agarwal, but you, maybe you'll have better luck. I got a pretty fancy gun I was issued back when I was a rising star at Auntie's. Side with us, and it's yours. Even throw in a healthy amount of bits for your troubles. Even the Order, for all of their logical ways, value an outside perspective. And because I've run out of options. Thanks, stranger. You can find Agarwal in the lift building, probably formulating another equation to get on my nerves.
Where do we go now? Another refugee camp? Another
paradigm is apologies, outsider. As a vicar, I am usually tasked with guiding. Lately, the abbot has tasked me with the education of the You are, of course, free to stay to be enlightened by my lecture, but I don't need an abacus to predict your path lies elsewhere. Well, if it's in the displaced's best interests, I imagine I can find a moment. Oh, yes. Though I must admit, some looked quite startled when I spoke on our schism with the Protectorate earlier. In retrospect, I may have started to yell in my... Suppose I, more than any other member of the Order here, connect with non-scienticians. I've begun daily lectures, including practical advice on efficiently planning their day. I frequently launch into extended orations on everyone's favorite topic, math, and meticulously expatiate on our sex origins in the most rigorously pedantic detail. I must remember that one for the next time I schedule a moment of mirthful hilarity. As I'm sure you've read in recent dissertations doing the rounds, education has proven to have a 13.7%. I am single-handedly making a difference here. with constructive pointers on efficient scheduling, lessons on order history, plus some mathematics for a little added razzle-dazzle. Perhaps some other time we can debate the theoretical complexities involved. But I fear I must get back to my duties. These laypersons won't enlighten.
Watch yourself if you intend to nose around that collapsed ramshackle. I swear, refugee settlements aren't what they used to be. Oh, I don't know. Assume there must be all sorts of pointy bits? And I wouldn't want you getting lockjaw. Seen a lot of makeshift shanty. Happens a lot. People here need more room to breathe. Can't build in the walkways, can't set up in the exclusion zone. So they build up. But don't have proper building material or nothing. They just make do. After a while, the stacked up little huts they jury-rigged come tumbling down. Oh, you put that together, did you? Here, I thought I was being subtle. Yeah, people keep at it. What else choice they had? Maybe if we interspersed our requests with numbers, they'd pay attention. Seems like all they care about sometimes. They're doing something, which is better than nothing, but not by much.
You cannot possibly do the right thing today without knowing what will happen tomorrow. And the order of his sentence we predict tomorrow, so you can have it better today. You are a necessary part of the hour.
The plan is always in motion, so move along.
I have too much on my mind for idle numerical chit-chat. My noggin sure is sore.
Looks like Sub Rosa.
People are saying good
We
things
find
about
flies circling corpses.
You got business? No? Move on. You the fixer-lyncher aide to Agent Galloway? Don't suppose you got that crawling hibiscus she promised to sneak me, huh?
Hello, hello. You're the one that aided us in availing Sub Rosa of a rather large shipment of Spectrum vodka, yes? Agent Galloway is slightly less trustful than most feral canids, so winning her over speaks volumes of your, consequently, I'm pleased to present you purchase access to my fine wares. It's fortunate you're no stranger to contraband. It's superb cover and a consistent market. Refugees are in need of all sorts of supplies that the Order cannot provide. And Sub Rosa, myself, I enjoy the thrills of the environ. Will the Order attempt to drive me out? Will Matriarch's mercy be shelled? Shall I run out of new cereals? Oh, thrilling! Well put. So long as that zest isn't the taste of blood, we stand that we'd like to make a good ton of bits on the war. And maybe expand our reach in the process. Beyond that, I'm not supposed to comment. But Sub Rosa consists primarily of ex-Auntie's Choice and ex-Protect. We've still got folks we care about out there. Complicates some of our feelings on the fighting. But if the fighting stops, our income begins to go dry. Feast thine eye.
Don't do anything foolish.
Greetings. What can I help you with? Let me guess. One of your co-occupants is always hanging up his or her britches in your... Or you're dealing with more of a stay off my palate or that's my air you're breathing sort of thing. Hmm? Pray elucidate the exact nature of your tiff of contention. We offer a wide array of proxy altercations, from restrained bludgeoning to... Here, in Matriarch's Mercy, if you're not a member of the Order, you're probably living close to somebody else. In some cases, sort of thing tends to cause friction between neighbors. Would lead to fights, but nobody here wants trouble with the Order. So they hire our hooligans to battle by proxy. It's the Order, so they don't kick you out or nothing. It's all community betterment If you're former Auntie's Choice, it smacks kind of like work for free. If you're former Protectorate and it don't involve automechs, it's all terrifyingly mystifying. We say whoever wins the fight wins the argument. But frankly, it's never anything of consequence, like, okay, hurrah! This guy gets back his mangy button. Now, how can I help you exactly? Ugh, a tourist. Well, clear out then, huh? Can't have you scaring off... Go on, get out of here. Scram!
Look, your nose was just a stand-in for Duarte.
Welcome. Have you come to orders knowledge?
1,068.5 pardons, but my attention is presently 99.81% occupied, coordinating provisions and supplies for the displaced. Well, if the Archivist sets as the assigned provisioner, I am responsible for coordinating the requisition and distribution of comestibles, medicinals. The overwhelming majority of my time is dedicated to this, leaving only moments to see to the Order's needs in the settlement. But it is an you may not have noticed, but the refugees do not want for food or medicine. The Order of the Ascendant is dedicated to the ascension of humanity. Our ultimate goal may not be reached in our... If I can help others in need today, I shall do so to the utmost extent of my abilities and resources. With the great disruption that has occurred to their lives, one can hardly blame them. That they are fed and remain healthy is sufficient for me. Appreciate. Yes. You may prove...
What is it? I have 15 seconds of allotted time for non-specific discourse, so... Oh, don't tell me. You're here on behalf of the voice of the displaced, aren't you? Oh. May, is it? This is about the exclusion zone, correct? Excuse me, but the intricate dance of the cosmos is any... You see, the seer predicted that a calamity would befall the exclusion zone, warning that the barrier must... But the ever-disruptive voice of the displaced is dead set on occupying the exclusion zone anyway, laughing in the face of certain peril. We don't know, and therein the seer has augured death for anyone who enters the exclusion zone. Yes, you. Furthermore, and I quote, an outside mediator, having earned the confidence of both sides, has a high likelihood of clearing up an ongoing dispute. And now the voice has involved you. How auspicious. Perhaps you are the outside mediator who was foretold. I believe only in the cold, inconvenient mathematics of the cosmos. This will work. The first step is to familiarize yourself with every angle of the dispute. Talk to the people of Matriarch's Mercy. The displaced want the exclusion zone. We want it kept off limits. We can't both. With your seasoned perspective, perhaps the voice of the displaced will learn to listen. Any questions before you get started? Novice Seer Vicarage should have ample time to illuminate you on the Order's forecast modeling methods. He's just down the room from here. According to predictions, yes. Or at least, my interpretation of them. I am reasonably certain. More than usual, in fact. I can tell you she's a rabble-rouser of the highest order. Still, you can find her outside, among her people, stubbornly but you already knew that. Many people around camp support or object to our methods. Speak to them, form your own opinion, and when you are ready, you will decide the fate of the exclusion zone. Scienticians around the settlement inform me you've made some inquiries. Good, good. Continue poking around further, though. You must earn both sides' trust, you know. Have you spoken to all representatives of the Order? All of the displaced? The Doctor? The questionable types from Sub Rosa? Well then, if you need me in the meantime, I'll be here, up to my ocular organs and requests. Besides what I've already, to put it gently, disorganized, which is irregular for a group that prides itself on mathematical, but with effort, patience, and collaboration. I am confident that Matriarch's Mercy will soon be a haven for the displaced. Good. Check in with me once you've made significant. As with probability, there is an art to mediation, and it requires a well-rounded perspective.
By the law. Oh, thank the architect you're finally here. I've scarcely breathed while hoping you'd come. I am in desperate need of your help. True, but the Order's predictions know you better than you know yourself. As a doctor, we don't have enough beds or private quarters to separate people, so of course the Order keeps us well supplied with meds, but things will get worse as long... Yes, I can treat sickness as it arises. It would be leagues better to prevent it entirely. That means space to spread out. Nature would drive us to our extinction. As a doctor, and a man of reason, I'll pass. Where to begin? There are so many sick and wounded in Matriarch's Mercy, and I am but a humble general practitioner. What I really need are specialists, and the Seer predicted an outsider would find them. My thanks, stranger. The Seer gave me a datapad with explicit instructions that I not read it, for my intervention could only throw probability. Now, take the datapad, with my thanks. How can I be of service? I can tend to your injuries, provided you have the bits to compensate me for my time and skill. We're short on everything, I'm afraid, including generosity. My skills are freely given to the displaced refugees, the injured and outcast, tossed, hit. No offense, but you do not suit the qualifications. So payment up front is appreciated. Not to worry. I'm no seer. My supplies are...
No target, Commander! Don't tease me!
objectives. Somehow merge with another company to become Anti's choice. These corporate interactions make little sense.
You're right. I pleasantly anticipated this exact moment. My personalized order prediction and weekly prognostic. I suppose that designation doesn't wholly apply to you, though, does it? Predicting future events is an impress. Well, then. I read that you'd have questions about our predictive methods, correct? Matriarch's Mercy is brimming beyond capacity with those cast out by war. But we of the Order rise to every challenge and continually strive to... Why I, for instance, have availed my predictive methods to our refugee neighbors in the area.
But again, I digress. Belated testing by Anti's choice.
There's nothing more practical than improving lives now, is there? We've offered the displaced access to our weekly prognostics reports, and engagement is admittedly rather low. But at least one member of the camp reports he has benefited from them greatly.
In Anti's choice's records. More specifically, the PvP eggs are found in every berry of an infected plant, where these eggs have been subdermally...
I believe my services will be increasingly sought after the more of the displaced learn of our methods. Vicar Orendi, for instance, is assiduously occupied with such... One of our recent guests, Rolo Nast, has received multiple personalized order predictions. I believe he could speak to... If my own humble assertions are not enough, I trust his attestations would convince you, and perhaps other members of the displaced as well.
Pincer-like mandibles, which then proceed to feed on the host directly, ingesting tissue and blood along...
We utilize a mix of proprietary research methods to gather as complete a data set as possible, and advanced calculations using, well, none of us predict events with complete accuracy or absolute detail. We'd need to solve the universal equation to do that. Fortunately, we're all working very hard on that problem. The Department of Predictive Analysis provide weekly prognostics reports and personalized order predictions to help steer our followers' paths.
Helping infected purpleberry plants to spread farther and grow better than...
More what to watch out for. Advisement on adhering to the plan. Forecasts of probabilistic dangers. Elements of larger predictions made relevant to groups and individuals. The Department of Predictive Analysis is mainly populated by seers like myself, who represent the Order's most talented math after years of study. Some can predict events a few seconds or minutes into the future with reasonable precision. Others can estimate, of course, predictions have grown more difficult with the loss of the archive, but I am not to speak of that with an outsider. No offense. Unforeseen factors, random elements, anomalous outliers, incalculable variables, all of them can undercut the accuracy of our predictions. But as we close in on solving the universal equation, unknown unknowns will become known unknowns. Then finally, known knowns. You follow? True, my situation does. Regrettably, this is Matriarch's Mercy. We all must do the best. Well,
choice doctors who were more concerned with...
Please, don't distract me from...
Ah, you must be the, Earth Directorate agent I was told. I was not in...
You are just dying to call me a cultist, aren't you?
Yes, surprisingly, we take umbrage with assertions of biological continuity post-launching oneself into a rift. Actually, perhaps it would be best if we just allow me to welcome you to Golden Reach. I'm afraid I've no refreshments available, but can I interest you in a customary debate over decidability? Yes, the presiding bishop sent word of your imminent arrival. However, due to our need for compartmentalization, she was scant on the details. That said, I've been instructed to assist you however I can. So, tell me, what brings you to Golden Reach?
And leave Abbot Newell to be subjected to the inanity of a total stranger. Absolute.
Don't trouble yourself about Seer Wiley. He's here as my aide. I trust him implicitly. Now, you were saying?
Victor Clemens, some kind of radical.
I must agree with my seer. I once watched Victor shed copious tears over a damaged datapad. It's difficult to imagine him capable of worse. You may be right. To quote my old anatomizer instructor, hard to see into a man's heart without a scalpel. I'm grieved to hear this news. Like many of our most brilliant minds, Victor was also troubled. I only wish I'd realized sooner the extent. A sad truth worthy of much... Now then. By exposing Victor's machinations, you've done the Order a good turn. Perhaps you would be interested in doing another? I hate thinking an Order member responsible, but given the precision of the attack, it does suggest traitors in our midst. It would undoubtedly benefit both of us.
Respectfully, Scholar, given current tensions, should we really be trusting such a delicate task to this stranger? Would an internal review of our ranks not be more appropriate? Thank you for...
I don't dispute the need for discretion, my friend. But the presiding bishop made the determination to send the agent to us. It's best we trust her calculations. Moreover, our situation is growing increasingly dire. I can't overstate my fears concerning this most recent attack ending the ceasefire and reigniting the war. One more thing. Your investigation into the traitors takes precedence. But if you could also render aid at Outpost Opportunity on our behalf, such a gesture might preserve the peace.
And here I was under the impression that investigating crime and injustice was
At any rate, I trust whatever's uncovered over the course of this investigation will serve as compensation enough. Most assuredly not. It would eliminate the entire point of the ceasefire. Please convey that fact to whomever you speak with. I knew I could rely upon you. Ruth wouldn't have sent you otherwise. Here, take this writ of investigative inquiry. It'll grant you access to the manufactory. Seer Wiley and I will conduct our own inquest into these traitors you've mentioned erstwhile. We can compare notes once you've returned with your findings. Illuminating the path to true erudition is an abbot's moral duty. Whatever I can tell you, I will. Rift worshippers spouting inane theories. They began showing up prior to the invasion. The first sign of dysfunction in the Protectorate always starts small, doesn't it? That is a statue of the matriarch, Alexandra Varick. Arcadia's founder, and for whom the monastery was named after. Regrettably, Alexandra Monastery is closed to non-order members at the moment, given recent troubles. But perhaps Seer Wiley can give us an estimation of its reopening.
Oh, certainly. According to my calculations, the monastery will be accessible to certain members of the public shortly.
Ha! Good news indeed. Oh, you really must visit. The observatory is a true sight to behold.
A calling for those with a greater than average talent for mathematics and computation, particularly in the field of predictive analysis.
Seer Wiley is being too modest about his contributions. Many in the Order rely on Seers for their indispensable counsel. I myself would be lost without mine.
But if you treat said lackeys with disrespect, like calling them lackeys, for instance, they may just stick a knife in you when you're not looking.
No, it's not like that at all. Our bond is an equitable partnership built upon a foundation of mutual respect and dedication to the plan. In fact, what would you put our combined efficacy rate at these days, Wiley?
I won't trouble our good agent here with the exact calculation, but the percentage is considerable.
I dread the day your immeasurable talent finally propels you into the upper echelons. Truly, Landon, the Order doesn't realize what it has in you. Oh, indeed. I needn't educate you on what you can see with your very eyes. There is a great deal of pressure on me to navigate what is a rather novel situation. Without Wiley, I dare say our predicament here would be even more precarious. Many lives depend on him, on us both. Why, Matriarch's Mercy would not be the refuge it is without his predictions shepherding its development. Both, I should hope. We've been collaborating for many years, and, plan willing, for many more to come. Especially given how very uncertain life in the colony. Welcome back. Anything I can do to assist you? Oh, of course. What would you like to discuss? Merely a precaution against calamity. Based off certain predictions, I agree with Seer Wiley that it is best to avoid those areas for now. Yes, the plan can seem quite mysterious at times, but that is why we have seers like Wiley to help us decipher its many patterns and figures. But we are providing for them, as best we can, given our limited resources. Turning them away would be an act of far greater, apart from providing them sustenance, shelter, and scientific ministry, you mean? Need I remind you, Arcadia is at war. This is what war looks like, I'm afraid. The Order is operating within a very reasonable framework to provide as much aid as it can. Alexandra Monastery is a place of sacred study, advancing our understanding of the plan. I haven't the wish to debate you on this any further. Please, let us move on to less controversial topics. Yes, what have you discovered?
About me, was it?
I converse with many members of the Order on a number of subjects. No doubt I was extolling Seer Wiley's numerous... Any other updates?
Speak to Abbot Newell if you've more queries.
If you be home.
You know, you strike me as someone with a very small body of published work.
Stop deviating from the baseline. Something. There's a rule in there.
My noggin sure is sore.
Where do we go now? Another refugee camp? Another colony?
I prison with an 8.239.
Stranger. Vexing. Worth them. Not to insult our gracious hosts, but these people don't wipe.
My time is yours. For now.
My time is yours.
Farewell.
By calculating the position of since the schism, the Protectorate have rewritten history to exclude our teachings.
Thus, algorithmic dissonance.
Do you believe Arcadia shall ever return? Return to how it was.
I wish. Why, the very idea is invaders, water defecting. There's no putting this rat back into the camp.
Wait. Don't tell me.
Look, I'm not with Ant. Can't say I'm fond of these lodgings.
Ow!
Hitched yourself to our wagon, I see.
Go on, get out of here. Scram!
My noggin sure is sore.
What caused the schism between the Protectorate and the Order? The
My weekly prognostic report hinted at our past or pending interaction.
The duties of an administrator.
The Grand Plan is the predetermined order to the entire universe. We can predict it down to...
Some people think soup doesn't qualify as a meal. Those people are incorrect.
I miss Fred. How do you do, stranger? Oh, it's a pity I can't lend more aid to our downtrodden collective. I'm just a humble taxidermist. You are talking to the first prize winner, but something tells me you didn't come to talk shop. What's this about, Agent? Am I in trouble? What? Listen, friend, a little skill with needle and thread does not make me a qualified medical professional. Oh, blood and guts are fine. I'm just not accustomed to patients who squirm about. Have it your way, then. I know when I'm being voluntold. But you better make it worth my while. Before I agree to anything, I need sprat corpses. Several. And no victims of violence, please. My art depends on the quality of the sleeve. I used to source all of my sprats from a local trapper, Frankie Billings. No idea. Word has it she's out north in Auntie's Choice territory, so watch yourself. Fresh being the operative word.
Do you believe Arcadia shall ever return to how it was?
Wish.
Keep your behavior acceptable.
Correct.
Ready to dispense judgment!
Either restore my life...
My thanks and my hammer.
Tristan, or should I say, the famous Arbiter Rao.
If you seek to taunt me, know that my hammer has crushed the skulls of dozens like yourself.
See, that's just it. You act all high and mighty, but you're as scary to people as I am.
Wrongdoers fear me. Most certainly. But loyal subjects admire me. I might go so far as to say I am adored, far and wide.
No, they're terrified of you. I should know. I grew up having nightmares of being judged unworthy.
You mean for doing something like, join an insane religious group?
You're dumber than you look. And that's dangerous.
Stay your execution.
Laboratory mishap and/or miscellaneous unspeakable dangers. Please call again at a more convenient time.
Hello? Someone there? Yes? Did the missive not play, or was it garbled in some way? Are you somehow struggling with coherence? Zerania Manufactory 7, presently and for an indeterminate time, is in lockdown. That means no external transmissions, no visitors. Wait, you have a writ? From the Abbot? But we don't have any means of...
This is Factor Maytugier. Am I to understand you have orders from the Abbot? Quite convenient for you.
Yes, right over here. You're not getting down below. So, the Abbot deigned to send someone whilst... Oh, and I see you...
Your casual method of address has been noted. Consider yourself thankful that present company stays my wrath. Some.
Till we ascertain the truth here. Sometimes I cannot fathom what goes through the Abbot's mind, but your papers do seem to be legitimate. I will unlock the elevator so you can speak with Proctor Svoboda. I'll send word you're en route. But fair warning, I cannot predict what... I expect your behavior will remain impeccable. As soon as I've seen to securing the facility, I'll be along straight away. We have a working hypothesis about who is responsible. And we have managed to corner the apparent perpetrator down below. Which would be a good thing if they had not, somehow seized control of the manufactory operations. This facility has been an archetypical example of constancy and regularity. Ergo, the last place anyone would predict anything unpredicted would... Our suspect, one Initiate Alva, previously supervised launch, though steadfastly maintaining her innocence. She has also barricaded herself in the operations control room below. A move not likely to allay anyone's suspicions. No, thankfully. Not yet, at any rate. Architect willing, that will be the last of it. Now, you'd best... I admit I'm to a reasonable degree pleased you are on hand to corroborate current suppositions. May your query May fate and fortune converge.
This unit's current work task takes priority.
It evidently originated here. Transport. I'm not
This unit beautifully acknowledges your presence.
What are you doing up here? How did you get past the gate? Forgive me. All this business with the lockdown puts one on edge. Everything appeared routine at the time. We launch transport pods into space regularly. They get collected. It wasn't until we heard the explosion that anyone knew anything out of the ordinary had happened. I ran a systems audit on the launch sequence afterwards. Just finished constructing a report on my findings, actually, if you'd like to hear it. Anomalous event caused by unknown factors. Transport pod M7, containing a full hold of refined zeranium, bound for orbital platform. Latitude and longitude coordinates corresponded to the Antes Choice facility known as Outpost Opportunity. Altitude, however, matched 1,000 meters below sea level. Terminal input functions down below in operations. The low-ranking scientist who launched the pod is in... Regrettably, that is all I know. May all your endeavors elicit optimal results.
This unit is currently unavailable for meaningless interaction.
Proctor's a low-functioning functionary at best. I mean, just look at this mess.
Apologies, but an automechanical's work is never. Apologies, this unit's conversation module is functioning intermittently.
Initiate Alpha, stand down. Relinquish control of this facility immediately.
Oh, my dear Proctor, you can't believe a low-level drudge like me is responsible for any of this.
You'd have us all believe you seized control to demonstrate your innocence. Wait, is this being broadcast?
I have no idea how this audio doodad works. You're the one in charge here, Proctor Svoboda. Are you sure you didn't do something?
I demand your unconditional surrender at...
Hello, Proctor? I'm pushing buttons over here now. Did I disconnect you somehow?
Emergency detoxification initiated. When what's-her-name took over.
things have been a mite haywire.
Ah, yes, of course. Next on my list of lowest probability events, if we'd been able to communicate beyond our walls, might have saved you a trip. As I can successfully report, we have identified the responsible party. Oh, no, I wouldn't frame it quite. It's less what happened than who happened. Initiate Alva, that is. Her role was to launch transport pods of volatile uranium to collection points in space. Not at the outposts of our rivals. A spy or turncoat, no doubt. A sleeper agent from one of those secret enemy programs you're always hearing about. Within a beat of us hearing of the attack, Alva seized command of the system and locked herself in the control center. She then forcefully repelled several attempts to extricate her. 2 are dead already. Poor Jacobs lost a hand. Why, she could destroy this entire place at any moment from in there. I implore you to stop her before she does so. I fear violence may be our only recourse. Fervent professements of innocence, mostly. You know, exactly what you'd expect a secret traitress to claim. Dramatic attestations that grew... I suppose spies must build up a flair for histrionics. What with all that, hiding their identities and all. Then bursting forth like a pent-up... At any rate, I have work to do, and you have a saboteur to eliminate, yes? You'll forgive me. I'll be in my office.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. Conversation is not possible at this or any time.
You know, you strike me as someone with a very small body of published work.
We're still in lockdown, so I take it you haven't shot the traitor yet. I suppose.
Now, this is important. Would you describe the Varachnids Caliceri as slavering? I have many solutions, but none for your...
I can tell we have little crossover of interests.
Please don't take me on a co-tangent.
2 exemplars.
No lectures, please.
Have an intellectually stimulating day.
Of course she's hiding something. Alva's been here.
Investigator.
How many
Hey,
years?
Factor said had already noticed. We're on We'll have consumers sent to our brain cases.
Are you going to be a problem?
Cause trouble and I will...
Because I have a solution that requires very little computation.
Glad those not skilled at math can fulfill
The
some
Order
other
was
function.
responsible
I only
for
question them being enrolled.
prior to the schism. It is fortunate that the Protectorate has accelerated its own production since.
Well, don't you look run of the median?
Consider finding a human companion if you seek conversation.
You have a very non-stop...
Hello. Come here often. Goodbye. This unit, enjoy our banter.
they're sending now. And who are you, dear? You're what? Some maverick for hire? Oh, no, I can see. And who is that you brought with you? Could that be and someone else? Glorious. All this for me. Fear I hardly deserve such attention. This entire business is just a terrible misunderstanding. Since you haven't, I do hope you've reconsidered, or that you find her single-minded. I am thoroughly unaware how anyone would think me capable of all this. Yes, that was terrible. I feel awful. Though I didn't mean that to happen. They came at me, weapons drawn. My own training just... You see, years ago, I attended an introductory course at the Physical Education Center. I earned top marks. I hate to speak poorly of management, but we work folk around the manufactory consider the proctor... I assume she's acting as any functionary would, assigning blame to appear in control. Well, you know the type, surely. Dear me, I wish I did, but... Actually, there may be a way you could gain answers here. The firing... Why, yes! I could unseal access to the records repository for you, and open the... I'd be right grateful if you'd have a look. I swear I'm completely innocent of this heinous act they're accusing me of. If you need to hear me say it, surely. I promise not to destroy this facility with all of us in it. Was that... Appreciate your help, dear. Please return when you have found. May the plan favor us against long odds. Do so appreciate your help, dear.
May all your endeavors add to the equation.
This unit beautifully acknowledges your presence.
Please, don't distract me from my more pressing distractions.
May circuit always account for standard deviation. May circumstances proceed toward intended results.
Patrol's back, I hear. Don't see Auntie being too disrespectful.
Our Earth Directorate friend.
Well, hello.
Hello. I've been conversing with Factor Matadier here while you were...
Yes, they witnessed me rather discomposed, I fear. Visions of Auntie's choice reprisal clouded my thoughts at the time.
The Factor is less accusatory in his questioning than certain others, which I respect. Good manners cost nothing, I always say.
Troops now guard the entrance above. Our safety addressed, I have turned my attention to the cause of our situation here, and I have deemed it wise to investigate further. Do not let my position fool you. All within the Order are scienticians, and hence we seek the truth of any hypothesis based on evidence. The Proctor's accusation is no different. A recent security audit brought up several curious messages meant for an unknown party, sent from a terminal somewhere on the premises. We were unable to track down the whereabouts of this mystery terminal, but one message contained certain oblique references, nothing conclusive, yet enough to...
You examined the launch records, yes? Did you find anything, dear? I suppose the data wipe was meant to cover their trail. The physical records would have been altered, dear, presumably by some difficult to... but listen to me. What do I know about this sort of thing? I know I've watched too many Aetherwave serials. Suppose they fuel my fervent... But still, even the most junior scientician knows the best explanation is one requiring the fewest assumptions. Ergo, I set the correct coordinates. Someone overrode them. There should be ample time for regret later, dear. For now, I'll admit the armchair investigator in me wonders about Proctor Svoboda. Someone may be pulling her strings, perhaps. That's what investigators like you say, isn't it? Now, what you uncovered appears to imply two further avenues of inquiry. A Zeranium leak occurred moments after the launch. I imagine it may have been used as a diversion, allowing the culprit time to falsify the record. The overriding of the coordinates also deserves a look. Don't you think?
I can speak to the coordinate override, I believe. All commands are routed through the hub in central processing. If one meant to accomplish what you're suggesting, they would like...
I expect the Zeranium leak stemmed from alterations to the control boards and refinement logistics. I'd look for any signs of tampering that may point to the culprit. Oh, I'm full of hidden depths, dear, but this isn't the time. Later, I promise. Anything you want to know from my first sight? All right. There. I've unsealed both areas. With hope, what you discover will help us determine the responsible party.
I'll stay here and play for more time. If the Proctor sends anyone, I'll say I'm close to convincing you to surrender.
May the plan guide you.
Always account for standard deviation.
Most bureaucrats I've met are fairly worthless, but Svoboda seems to have perfected the art of being an ineffectual slackwit.
Ah, yes. Suppose you'll do.
Suspects in sight.
must have believed their plan was flawless. But problems began to mount. Errors started to multiply.
No target!
I'd been hoping an empiricist or assessor would amble by, but you appear reasonably apt. The Zeranium overflow venting has gone completely haywire. Oh, what else will this higgledy-piggledy nightmare of a day bring? Might I entreat you to act in such a capacity? The control board to divert the flow of Zeranium is up yonder in refinery logistics. If so, I have something for your time and effort. Well, you'll be especially interested if we developed a pharmaceutical primer that, technically it poisons you a little, but also heals you quite effectively. Shut off the gas, it's yours. Tremendous. May deliberate endeavors beget expected results. back. I see my choice in you was well-founded. Zeranium overflow venting has returned to a non-haywire state, and my internal levels of disquietude have lessened along with it. With the leak abated, I am fully prepared to be peppered with queries. You mean just after the attack occurred? I was in a state of anxiety at the time, and, well, I'm sure you're aware higher levels of cortisol can impede the encoding of... Not much. Keeps to herself mostly. Or that is entirely. Like all of us, she resided in the barracks 15 degrees to the northeast from here. This card will allow you into our humble little research lab. It's right past operations. Can't miss it. The pharmaceutical primer I mentioned is inside on display. The Order regards potentially detrimental human testing as an unethical scientific boundary. We tried it on a cystipig, though, and he came through. Reasonably no worse for wear. With the leak abated, I am fully prepared to be peppered. Now that you mention it, yes. I recall I was worried about one crisis, and my mind was completely occupied by this other. I must admit, I haven't given the attack a single thought since. I do hope I am... Yes, yes, I have had my fill of stochastic. Stochastic uncertainty today.
No reason to reason with you.
Factor's been in there a while now. Perhaps this conundrum is approaching a solution.
May fate and fortune converge.
Inform us when you've investigated the two leads.
It is difficult for me to tell how strange Alva's situation is relative to anything else within the Order. It all seems equally inexplicable.
Recharge for mayhem!
This shall not stay your execution.
I like that Alva. Granted, she's most likely lying through her teeth, but at least she's interesting.
Step aside. Why? All on the wrist.
Expose me! My injuries are not...
Your death's not a good look.
Willing! But unable.
Supposed to shoot the enemy!
You have my thanks and my hammer. You have...
I'm alive. Who needs to die?
Thank you kindly. I am decidedly in your debt. Anything you need? Anything I, a lowly archivist, can provide you? Of course. I am now able to breathe easy and respond freely. I was in my cot doing advanced equations. After the explosion occurred, I rushed here to check. The door was creaky to open. I should have known it would lodge in place when it closed, but I was distracted by the disheveled state of the room and rushed inside. Works in operations, right? Always on about her stories. Wish I had time to watch. Strange question, but yes. All commands pass through the hub here. Through that wiring underneath that open floor panel in the back of the room, actually. Well, in my professional opinion, looks like someone rerouted some command. Based on the sloppy state it was left in, I'd say they either barely knew what they were doing or were in a rush, or both. Well, that's about it. Careful on your way out. Try not to be liquefied and subsequently devoured.
Returned already. I'm sure
Why, we were just...
Or specifically, potential implications for a multitude of troubling scenarios, based on probable results of your investigation.
You know how the Order is. Always calculating something. But please, tell us what you discovered.
That you found evidence that the coordinates were rerouted is definitely something. Would be an odd step for Alva here to take. Except...
I admit I had the knowledge to cause the leak, but not the authorization. Svoboda has clearance, but not the know-how. I'm sufficiently certain our proctor is conspiring with an outside party. So I'm coming out now. She's going to tell me who she's working with. Then I'm going to kill her.
Yes! Now this is definitely taking a turn more to my liking.
Wait a minute. You're going to what? Our investigation, it's unfinished. And you're...
Oh, I see you two thought you were proving my innocence. No, you were helping identify my target. I'd advise you, dears, to help or stay out of my way. Proctor Svoboda needs to pay for her actions.
Her possible involvement notwithstanding, Constance Svoboda is an Order Proctor, and I cannot abide her cold-blooded murder. Especially by someone we... You are far more capable than some back-manufactory button pusher.
I am a dedicated agent of the Order, but no, dear. I am Marisol Delgado, formerly of the Department of Preemptive Causal Redirection.
That group was just a story to scare novice scienticians. Next, you're going to be telling me you're... Wait. It is you, isn't it? The one they called the Endpoint.
I arrived decades ago to lie low after a difficult...
The rumors about your department. They said anyone who might delay the equation being solved disappeared. If there are any hints of truth to that, I find it severely at odds with Order tenets for balancing efficiency with humanity.
This is hardly the time for a history lesson or debate, I'm afraid. Perhaps you shouldn't. My earlier endeavors were often disconcerting. But the truth remains. Whatever is happening...
That you are who you are, and are standing right, and have been here for years. I suspect your methods are not my own, nor the Order's, as I know it. And I fear your intentions for Proctor Svoboda. I cannot be party to this, but...
A wise calculation. Good thing you showed up when you did. You saved me from having to kill everyone here. Not that I was relishing the idea. Svoboda has much to answer for.
What's this? What are you doing here? Come to surrender, I take...
After decades keeping this identity, your inexpert blundering has rendered it obsolete. I am Marisol Delgado. This would be an ideal time to confess...
You can't possibly be party to all this. Not with...
Our investigator has definitively determined my innocence following a thorough investigation.
I don't know what you found, but any so-called evidence was likely laid there for someone to discover. By a part, this is all nothing more than a flagrant example of artifice and bunco. An elaborate song and dance from...
Enough, traitor. You made your plea. No more deception. No more lies.
No, wait,
Thus concludes a thoroughly distasteful business. What a nice and thoughtful thing to... Best search her office. Someone clearly was pulling her strings.
Search away, Commander. I shall keep an eye on the weapon hand of our new compatriot.
conceal the effluvium repository. That's traditionally off limits. Ideal spot to hide something. We should take a look.
May the plan guide you. Investigator.
Brimming with runoff chemical sludge. It's been renovated, I see. Another terminal. Go ahead. You should have the honors. The Proctor's efforts appear part of a larger scheme. Clemens? The archivist? Ah, that follows, I suppose. Still more that I missed. I have some unfinished business I need to get back to. I could use help from an operator like you. Believe my specific skills could benefit your efforts as well. I'd propose a strategic partnership. You help me, I help you. What do you say? Good, good. It's a little crowded here, though, isn't it?
Very well. I shall return to my quarters. Perhaps I'll use this time to catch up on my reading.
Excellent. Well then, I am quite ready to leave this place.
fellow Loyalists, it is time. Due to the Earth Directorate operatives' continued meddling, we must increment our timetable by a factor of hours, not days. Accordingly, our forces have taken over the monastery. Those I predetermined to be resilient to reason have been executed. The rest should not cause us trouble. I have locked the lift to prevent the agent from reaching the monastery, but the following code will grant you access. 34145. I will continue my work from here, supplying Augustine with everything she needs for our plan to succeed, and delaying the agent as I'm able to. May the results of our actions today secure a more prosperous tomorrow for our sacred order.
Seer Wiley isn't very good at this whole seer business, is he?
Yeah. It's nice of him to just hand us the code like that. We should remember to mock him for that as he bleeds out.
I realize you didn't receive the most welcome of receptions here. I recognize you've done right by us here today. May fate and fortune converge.
Got a bad feel about this line, hon.
Do you believe Arcadia shall ever return to hell? What caused the schism between the Protectorate and the Order?
Grand Arc!